Hello, everybody. Welcome to the final game in the Sparky Bowl, Game 7. Here, Cincinnati against the 1984 Tigers. Reds looked like they were going to run away with this. They were up 3-1, but then the Tigers fought back, winning the final game at Tiger Stadium and then winning Game 6 in Cincinnati to force this Game 7. Hello, Dr. D and Ben. Good to see both of you. So Game 7 is upon us. Jack Morris against Gary Nolan. That is your starting pitching matchup. There, your starting lineups. The Reds have used the same lineup every single game. The Tigers are going back to their mostly left-handed hitting lineup against the right-handed Nolan, so that's pretty standard for them. All right, so we are about ready to get going here. Got our Cincinnati red-colored dice, and Lou Whitaker will be leading things off for the Tigers. Why he's not in the Hall of Fame, I'm not sure, but I'm assuming he'll eventually get there through the Veterans Committee. And if Trammell got in, then certainly you would think Whitaker. They're two peas in a pod, in my opinion, but I assume one day he will get in. All right, here is Gary Nolan to Lou Whitaker, and we're underway in Sparky Bowl, Game 7, 4-3, and that is the ballpark card. The very first roll is Riverfront Stadium, ballpark card. See what happens on the ballpark card. 4-2. We get a rare play on the very first play of the game. Wouldn't you know, in the Sparky Bowl, the very first play of the game, we get a rare play. Just have to love it. Hello, Colin and Mr. Robert. Good to see you. Yep, my third game today. It's a trifecta. Let's see here. So we got a rare play. Base is empty. See what happens. Hopefully there's no injuries. That's a 22. Third baseman chases foul in the stands, resolves a can't read it. P5 range play, but check for injuries. So Pete Rose could be injured here on the very first play of the game. Very possibly. He could be injured on the first play of the game. First, we need to check his range, which is a 3. See if he gets to this. He does not. So it's in the foul. It's a foul ball. He didn't get to it. It's a foul ball. So it's not where it's going to drop in or anything. His injury is a 0. So maybe, so according to the chart here, 1, 2, or 3. The only way he's definitely out is 4 or 5. But I just don't know if Pete Rose, I just don't see him being injured. He played all 162 games. So you know what? I'm going to bypass that. I'm poo-poo on that. I'm not even going to deal with that. I'm not going to injure a guy that never got injured. So we're just going to go and play it as a range play that failed and drive on. Whitaker gets another chance. 5-1's a strikeout. 10. Let's see. He strikes out at 5, so that's going to be too high for that. Go to Whitaker. 5-4, and that's a fly to left. 1 away. If it's anybody else on the Reds, I might have done it, but Pete Rose played all 162 games, so having him injured to me is kind of silly. All right, here is, and that's another thing on this injury thing that Inside Pitch could improve on, is Pete Rose should never be injured. So he should have an injury rating that is not even a 0, but it's off the chart where you don't even go to the injury chart to check it, because he should never be injured based on his playing. All right, here is Alan. And you think Pete Rose has to be dead to get him out of a Game 7. You kidding me? Here's Alan Trammell. 4-1, that's a blank. We go to Trammell. That's called an executive decision. 6-4, and that is a star 4. Let's see here. Star 4 is a ground ball to short. Oops, 1 away. Here's Kirk Gibson. 3-2, and that's a home run straight up. 3-2 is a home run straight up off Nolan's card, and that's gone. He's a 16, and that's a 5. It is long, and it is gone. Kirk Gibson, home run off of Gary Nolan. And the Tigers jump off to a 1-0 lead. Thanks to Kirk Gibson's straight-up home run. That's the one bad roll for Nolan, is that 3-2 comes up with a straight home run. 3-3, and that's going to be against a right-hander, a blank. And here's Parrish. 3-4, that's a single pass short. Not sure where Brian B is hanging out. Thought he'd be here managing his Reds. All right, so Parrish, attempt of 2, but nothing's happening. Here's Evans. 2-5, that's a blank. Go to Evans. 5-2, and that against that right-hander is a ground ball to second. That will end the inning, but Larry Parrish, or Lance Parrish, not Lance Parrish, Kirk Gibson, home run, gives the Tigers a 1-0 lead. All right. Jack Morris out now, gets that 1-0 lead to work with. And he'll be facing Pete Rose, who shook off that encounter with the railing at third base and says, you're not getting me out of this game. 5-3, that's a strikeout chance against Pete Rose. He strikes out at a 6, plus 1's a 7, so he's gone. Pete Rose out of there on strikes, 1 away. And that'll bring up Ken Griffey. 6-1 is a blank. We go to Griffey. 3-1, and that's a star 3, ground ball to third. Handled by Evans, 2 down, and that'll bring up little Joe Morgan. 5-5 is a walk chance, 19. He's definitely going to draw the base on balls, and he's looking to get the lead. Needs a 7 or less, and gets it, so he will go. 17 plus 1's an 18. Parrish a -2 is a 16. 1-16, he's safe. And he's in there. Stolen base for little Joe. So he's at second base with 2 down for Tony Perez. Nothing on strategy the second time around. 5-2 is a strikeout chance, and Perez is out, and that's going to end the inning. So Morris gets out of it. Reds leave a runner in scoring position at the end of 1. It is Detroit 1 and the Cincinnati Reds nothing. Due up for the Tigers is designated hitter Johnny Grubb. 6-4, that's a home run question mark. Home run question mark 1-5, that fails. Will not be a home run chance. Grubb will swing, 2-3, grounds it to short. So what I'm envisioning there, and that might be kind of corny, but what I'm envisioning there is that Grubb hits a deep drive to right field, but it just goes foul, and then the next pitch he grounds to short. Maybe that's reading too much into it or being too corny. I don't know. Here's Rupert Jones. 6-4, and right back to the home run question mark. This time the 5 is there. So Rupert Jones on a 1-19, it's going to go. And it does. Rupert Jones. He hit that 6-4 roll twice in a row, and this time he didn't get away with it. Rupert Jones keeps the ball fair. Solo shot. It is 2-0 favor of the Tigers. And the Reds bullpen might start to, Pat Zachary might start loosening early and often. Nolan bitten by the gopher ball here. 3-1's a strikeout, and that's a 1. So Chet Lemon had no chance on that. First strikeout for Nolan. 2 down for first baseman Dave Bergman. 4-3, and that is a ballpark going back to Riverfront for Bergman. Whoa, the red dye didn't go where it's supposed to go, so let's try this again. 3-6, and that's a fly to left field, and that will end the inning. But the home run from Rupert Jones gives the Tigers a 2-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the second. 2 long balls, one by Gibby and one by Johnny Grubb. I'm sorry, one by Rupert Jones. Rupert Jones and Gibby hit the 2 home runs, solo shots. And now Dan Dreesen, the DH, is up. That's a 2-4. That's a ballpark card. Go to Riverfront, 5-3, and that's a star 5 fly to center. 1 away. And here's George Foster. 3-6. That's a range play at the park. Going to Riverfront Stadium for Foster. 5-3, and that's a star 5, which is a fly to center. It's a range play, but Chet Lemon's a 5. So anything other than a 6, he makes the catch. That's a 6. Wouldn't you know it? Wouldn't you know it? It's going to drop in for a base hit for George Foster. I don't know why it seems like whenever a guy has a 5 range, 6 seems to come up more often. I don't know if that's a thing or whether it's just perception. But anyway, Foster, tempt of 2, and nothing happening. Here's Johnny Bench. 1-2 as a possible error. That's a 16, so doubt there'll be an error. 3-2, that is a star 2. Ground ball to short. Tramble's only a 5, so definitely no error. Now we're looking for the double play. 3-0, halfway is a 4. The pivot to second, Whitaker is a 0. 1-4, and it's a twin killing. And it is. 6-4-3, double play. Turn by the Tigers to take care of the Reds here in the second. We go to the third, still 2-0 Detroit. Nolan back out. We'll face the top of the order. Whitaker, Trammell, and Gibby. 4-4, and that's possible error. Go to Whitaker. 3-3, that's a single to second, but it will not be a error chance. It'll be a speed chance. He's a 3, so 1-3, he will beat this out. 4, 5, or 6, he's thrown out. And he beats it out for an infield single. Whitaker. And his attempt is a 2. Nothing happening. Trammell's definitely not bunting. So here's the pitch to Trammell. 6-5, strikeout 11, it's too high. Trammell. 2-3, grounds it back to Nolan. And let's see here for potential double play. All right, this is where I get confused, RJL, and you can maybe help me out on this. Hopefully you can. I know with the infield halfway you get a +1, but I believe it's a -1 to the pitcher. So don't they counteract and cancel out to where you don't get the -1 from the -1 from the pitcher plus the +1 from the infield? Right, it's -1 to the pitcher, but don't you also get the +1 for being it cancels out. So -1 from pitcher, +1 for being halfway, so it's a 0. Offsets. Okay, that's what I thought. All right, so Trammell's double play rating is a 1. The pivot, if it's grounded back to the pitcher with a right-handed batter, the pivot would be second baseman Morgan. He's a 0. So the only way this is a double play is on a 1. That's a 5, so they'll just get the force out. It's going to go 1-4 with Trammell, the new runner, and hopefully I did that correctly. Hopefully that was done correctly. Thank you, Ben, for the confirmation and for RJO. All right, Trammell is a 4 attempt. +1 from Nolan makes him a 5, and he will hold. All right, here's Gibson. He homered his first time up. 2-6, and that's a blank. We go to Gibby. 2-5, that's a star 6. Fly ball to center field to Geronimo for 2 down. And that'll bring up Lance Parrish. Nothing on strategy. 3-2, and that is a straight-up home run. That's Nolan's bugaboo again, that straight-up home run check. That's an 18. That's a 10. Parrish will go deep. It is a 2-run bomb, and that's going to do it for Gary Nolan. The Reds version of Sparky can't take anymore. He's given up 3 long balls. So look at it again. 3-2 is the home run check. That's a 10. He's an 18. It's pretty simple. It's gone. So Nolan, well, they may go ahead and let him finish the inning. It's 2 outs. They'll go ahead and let him. They're not going to embarrass him by taking him out mid-inning. They'll let him pitch to Evans. 6-4. Maybe I shouldn't have. Home run question mark. 1-5, but that fails. Caught a break there, but he's on the verge of coming out of here. 5-4, and that's a fly to right, and that's going to do it. That's going to be all for Mr. Nolan. He just did not have it. He gives up 4 runs in 3 innings on 3 separate home runs, one of them a 2-run shot. So 3 runs on, looks like 5 hits, where 3 of those were home runs. 4 runs. He didn't walk anybody. He only struck out 1. And coming in for long relief will be the guy who could have started the game, Pat Zachary. So Pat Zachary will be on to pitch from here on out, and Gary Nolan will hit the showers. And the happiest guy around is Jack Morris, where he gets a 4-0 lead to protect. And he'll be facing Geronimo, Concepcion, and Rose. Yeah, where is Brian B? What's up with that? Kept bugging me, asking me when I was going to play this game, and now I told him I was going to play it, and he's not here. Well, we must have something going on, obviously. We all have lives. At least some of us have lives. 1-6 is a strikeout chance. 16 is going to be too high. Oh, no, it's not, actually. He's a 15 plus the 1 from the stadium, so the 16 fits. Struck him out. Well, that's just I was just getting ready to say that RGL says some of us don't have lives, obviously because we're on here all the time. Maybe this is our alternate life. I don't know. All right, here's Concepcion. It's not a bad life, though, when you think about it. Could be worse lives. 2-5. Blank. Concepcion. 2-4. Star 1. Ground ball to Whitaker. 2 down. Hey, I look at it this way. I'm doing it by doing things like this over and over. It keeps my mind hopefully sharp, and maybe that's a prevention of Alzheimer's down the road or something. I don't know. That's true, Dr. D. Now I have a life. That's absolutely true. All right, 4-6 is a walk chance. 6 will walk him. So Pete Rose will draw the base on balls. Tempt is a 1. Nothing happening. So that brings up Griffey. 3-2 is a ballpark card going to Riverfront Stadium for Griffey. 3-4, and that's a home run to the pull side, but he's only a 6. But that doesn't matter. That is a 6. It's gone. There is no robbing home runs or anything like that. That's out of here. 3-4 to the pull side, home run. He's a 6. That is a 6. It's a 2-run home run from Ken Griffey, and that gets the Reds right back in this ball game. The ball is flying out of Riverfront Stadium tonight. Must be a humid night or something. I don't know, and that's something I talked to RJL about one time, possibly home brewing a robbing of the home run when the home run result is right on the number, similar to what Strat does, but I guess leave that alone. All right, here is Joe Morgan. 6-3 and a blank on an S1 parentheses. Joe Morgan, 1-2, fly to right. Boy, 1-3 would have been a home run, but 1-2 is a fly to right, and that's going to end the inning. So we go to the 4th. And it's 4-2 Detroit. That sounds interesting, Robert. I'll give it a year or so, and if it looks like something that you enjoy, and I watch a lot of games and it seems feasible, then I'll look into version 4. But right now, I'm liking version 3. All right, here's Evans. I'm sorry, no, it should be Grubb. Evans made the last out last and forgot to move the card. All right, 1-2, strikeout chance, 14, too high. Go to Grubb. 1-2 is a single pass third base, so Pete Rose can't get it. Grubb is aboard. No opportunity to steal, but there are pickoff chances in balks, so we roll for that. Nothing happening. Here's Rupert Jones. 5-4. That's a walk plus, so Zachary not getting off to a good start either. 2-1, nobody out for Chet Lemon. Sparky, that's a 20, so it's a chance of a balk on a 1-3 or a pickoff 4-5, and a pickoff is going to second base if it so happens that way. That's a 7. Everybody gets back. Grubb got back just in time. Zachary with the pitch. 1-6 is a strikeout. Again, 12 is too high. We go to Lemon. 3-1. Liner to short, possible double play. I know there's a version 4 where they have a different way of doing it, but Since we're doing version 3, we're going old school. Liner to short. Line drive to short. Runners on first and second on a line drive to short. So on 1, he gets the guy at first base. A 2 or 3, he doubles off the runner at second. 4 or higher, everybody's safe. It's a 5, so everybody's safe. Everybody got back. No double play. Here's Bergman. 5, 6. That is going to be a blank to a lefty. Bergman, 3, 3. That's a fly to right. 2 down. Now Grubb runs at a 2. Griffey is a +1 arm, makes him a 3. But you lose 2 going from first. I mean, lose 1 rather, going from second to third. So it drops to a 2. 1 to 2, and Grubb will take third base. And he does. So Grubb takes third base. Out number 2. And Lou Whitaker is up with runners at the corners and 2 down. So now we'll look at Rupert Jones. He has an attempt of 1 to try to steal, but that's not happening. So it's going to be Whitaker. 6-3 is he's not tired, so that's blank. We go to Whitaker. 5-3, and that's a ground ball to first, and that will end the inning. So after a rough start, Zachary recovers, keeps the Reds off the board. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Still 4-2, Detroit. And it's pretty much Johnny bullpen in this game. There's no tomorrow, so except for the starters from yesterday or from Game 6, everybody else pretty much is available. Perez, 4-2 from Morris is a wild pitch, which we treat as a blank and go straight to Perez. 4-4, it's star 4. That is a fly to left, hauled in by Rupert Jones. 1 down for Danny Dreesen. 3-3 is a walk chance. That's a 9, and that'll be a free pass issued to Dreesen. His attempt is a 4. Oops. And no chance of anything there. So here's Foster. Definitely a home run threat. 5-6 is a blank, so we go to Foster. 1-1, that's a fly to center, 2 down for Johnny Bench. Morris, 4-6, walk chance. That will walk Johnny Bench. So for Morris, that is walk number 4. He's having a little bit of control issues. First and second, tying runs are on base. And that'll bring up Cesar Geronimo. 3-3, and that's another walk chance, and Geronimo will walk. So he walks the bases loaded. 5th walk issued by Morris. And the Detroit Sparky is going to send the pitching coach, Roger Craig, out to the mound to figure out what the heck is going on. Bases are loaded, 2 down. Clutch situation for Dave Concepcion. Five, another walk chance, but this one's too high, so he caught a break there. Concepcion, 5-3, pops it up to third, and that's going to end the inning. Concepcion leaves the bases loaded, and that could come back to bite the Reds. That's a golden opportunity that was missed. We go to the 5th. It is still 4-2. Reds may be regretting that one. Well, top of the 5th, it's Alan Trammell time, followed by Gibson and Parrish. 3-6, that's a range play at the park. We're going to Riverfront Stadium for a range play. 5-2, and that's a rare play again. Second rare play of the game. Nullifies the range play, but we'll check for an injury or check for the rare play and see what happens, see if there's an injury involved. 63, 3-2 pitch called for a walk. Pitcher argues and gets thrown out of the game. So how about that? It's a walk, and Pat Zachary is tossed. Good thing the Reds have a lot of guys in the bullpen. So Pat Zachary will have to leave. He's going to go 1+ innings. He's going to walk 2, strike out nobody, give up a hit, no runs, but this runner is his responsibility. And with a couple of lefties coming up, the Reds will go to a lefty out of the bullpen, and that will be Mr. Will McEnany. So McEnany will be coming on for Cincinnati. Brian B's not here, so I got to do all the managerial things for the Reds. I would normally default to him. All right, Trammell's attempt is a 4, but -2 from McEnany makes it a 2. And it's a 20, but there's nothing on there for McEnany. Here is Kirk Gibson, lefty on lefty. 1-5 is a blank. We go to Gibson. 4-1. Liner to second, another possible double play, but not likely. Liner to second base, runner on first. Liner to second, runner on first. A 1 or a 2 is a double play. 3, they get back. So Trammell gets back smartly. 1 away for Lance Parrish. Maybe Brian B's got doing the Bobby Valentine thing, and maybe he's coming in under a different YouTube account and hiding with the mustache on or something. I don't know. Nothing on the Havoc here or the Tragedy Roll. McEnany 2-1, and that's a straight up single to the right-hander Parrish. It's an S1 base hit. Trammell runs at a 3. I don't know if he can make it to third. He cannot. You have to have a 4 better, so he will stop at second. First and second, 1 out for Darrell Evans. (6-4), and that's a wild pitch chance. 13 is too high, so move on to Evans' card. 3-4, star 5. It's a ground ball to second, possible double play. He's a 2, nothing from there. Halfway is a 3. The pivot is short. Concepcion's a 1, so a 1-4. We got an ending double play, and they do. Nicely turned by Concepcion. 4-6-3 gets the Reds out of the jam. And we close the book on Zachary. He gave up no runs. So we go to the bottom of the 5th. It's still 4-2 Detroit. Morris will be facing top of the order, Rose, Griffey, and Morgan. (3-5) and not tired, so it's a strikeout chance, but that's an 11 too high. Rose will swing it. 5-6. He's going to pop it up to third baseman. Handled by Evans. 1 away. That'll bring up Griffey. 3-6. A range play at the park for Ken Griffey, who homered last time up. That is a 3-5, and that is a power result to center field. That is an 8. Power result. It's a triple to center field by Ken Griffey. Could he be my first person to get a cycle? He's now got the home run and a triple, but he may not get 2 more at bats. That's the only problem. So Ken Griffey with the 1-out triple. I understand that, Dab. He absolutely is. He absolutely is. Oh, it was a range play at the park. Dan, you straightened me out on that. I thought it was a range play. Something told me it was a range play in the park, and I wasn't listening. So it's the center field, so this triple could very well be taken away because Chet Lemon's a 5. And he takes it away. So how about that? The triple is banished. So all you Cincinnati Reds fans blame Ben because he's the one that alerted me to the fact that it should have been a range play. And so the triple is gone. I'll have to find another day to get a cycle somewhere. It's gone, and it's a fly out to center field. 2 down, and Morgan is your batter. Thank you, Ben, for that. 5-5, and that is a walk chance. 16 is going to walk him. So second walk that's been issued to Morgan, and it's a 6th walk for Jack Morris. Morgan, to get the lead, needs a 7 or less and does not get it. So that'll bring up Perez. Still, the tying run is now at the plate, and Perez has good power. 5-2 strikeout. He's also going to strike out. So for Morris, that is strikeout number 4 to go with his 6 walks. So he's been in trouble, but has gotten through it. And we go to the 6th, and it's still a 4-2 ball game. McEnany can face 6 batters. He has faced 3. So they're going to try to get him through this inning if they possibly can. Johnny Grubb in his cookie cutter card, but I'm going to play it realistically as if lefty riders did matter. So we're going to take Johnny Grubb out, and Barbaro Garbe is going to come in and DH the rest of the game. Barbaro Garbe. He will stay in there to DH. And he runs at a 2 just like Grubb did. So one way to get around the cookie cutter thing is to manage as if the cookie cutter wasn't there. All right, here is McEnany. 6-4. Wild pitch is a ball 1, a ball blank, so we go to Garbe. 6-4, ground ball to first, and that's 1 away. Here's Rupert Jones. The only thing that worries me about that updated version, Robert, is I don't want it to turn into the APA master game where you need a PhD to figure the thing out. That's the only thing I'm concerned about. I had enough of a learning curve to learn version 3. I need more than just a demo. I'm going to need like years worth of stuff, and there's no telling how much more expensive the set will be for that versus the original. All right. Anyway, here's McEnany. 3-3 to Rupert Jones, who's also a cookie cutter, but he's a 5 defender, and they've got the lead, so I'm not taking him out. 3-3 is a blank. We go to Jones. 6-4, single pass short. Jones is a 2, but the -2 from McEnany will hold him there. This is the last batter for McEnany before he tires. 5-6, hit by pitch chance. 9, -3, no hit by pitch. 6-1, ground ball to short, possible double play. He's a 3, 0, halfway is a 4. The pivot is second baseman Morgan. He's a 0. So 1-4, and we have an inning-ending double play. And, of course, it's a 5, so they only get the force play. 6-4 on the fielder's choice. Now he is tired. If we get the parentheses roll, he will have to come out. He's going to face Bergman, and again, we're not taking Bergman out. He's a 5-rated defender, so we're keeping the defense in there. 20, but there's nothing going on there. So McEnany, 6-4, wild pitch. That's a 3. It will be a wild pitch. So now Lemon goes to second for Bergman. 1-3, possible error on a throw. 1-5, that's a single to first, so there's no throw needed, so there won't be an error. Question is, can Lemon score? On an S3, Lemon runs at a 2, but with 2 outs, he's a 3. To score on an S3 from second base, you need a 4. According to the chart, you need a 4 to score from second base, so he will not score. He will hold up at third base. And now, what do you do here? To get lefty on lefty, but he is tired. So, man, what do you do? Whitaker definitely hits a little bit better on those question mark results against righties. Brian B is not here to manage. So, what do we do with McEnany? If you hit that parentheses roll, it's that's gonna really kill him. I hate to do it. I'm gonna have to take him out and bring a right-hander in. I can't take a chance that he's going to hit that fatigue roll when you get a runner in scoring position. So he will have to leave. And we will go to, who do they go to here? They will go to Manny Sarmiento out of the bullpen to try to get out of the bases, load or run on the corner. No, yeah, run on the corner jam that he's in. McEnany went 1 2/3 innings. He gave up 3 hits. So far, no runs, but these 2 are his responsibility. No walks, no strikeouts. And now runners at the corners with 2 outs for Manny Sarmiento. Run on first, Bergman has an attempt of 2, -1 from Sarmiento is a 1. Nothing's happening there. Sarmiento, 3-6. That's an automatic out. So even without Brian B., the brilliant managing takes over. And you get that asterisk, double asterisk for the star line. And the 3-6 causes an out. And the out will be a fly to left to end the inning. So Sarmiento gets them out of the jam. The score remains 4-2. And we head to the bottom of the 6th. Sarmiento, of course, will stay in there. He can face 8 batters. So he will stay in there for a little while. Here's Danny Dreesen. 4-1. And that's a straight-up home run chance against Jack Morris's card for Dreesen. He's a 14. That's a 2. Sayonara pelota, as they say. I think John Miller uses that call or something similar to it. And that ball is gone. Look at it again. 4-1. Straight-up home run chance against a lefty. And it's gone. Home run. And now the Tiger bullpen is stirring. They're doing more than stirring. They're throwing. And they have right-handed action down in the bullpen as they have Juan Berenguer loosening in the bullpen. Well, I'll tell you what, Ben, since you're a Tiger fan or Chuck, whoever, you tell me who you want to warm up, who you want to be the next pitcher for the Tigers. I'll let you guys manage it. You probably obviously don't want to use Willie Hernandez this soon, but you got Lopez, Berenguer, Doug Baer, Rozema, or you got Bill Shearer, a lefty. So you got your choice. I'll default to you guys if you're Tiger fans. So Juan, all right. So Chuck, Juan Berenguer is loosening in the bullpen. There you go. Morris to Foster. 5-5 is a potential walk, and he does walk him. That is the 7th walk issued by Jack Morris. And now here's Johnny Bench. So do we pull him yet, or do we keep going with Morris? You want to give Morris another chance? He's not tired. He just hadn't been all that effective. Yes, Dab, these are rounded corners. I rounded these like 3 years ago before it became a thing. So if you want me to stick with Morris, I'll stick with Morris. If you want Berenguer in there right now, I'll bring Berenguer in there right now. If not, we'll let Morris continue. He is kind of the horse. So they usually give him, all right, one more batter. Okay. Nothing on the strategy roll. Here, I don't think. Let me check Foster. No, he's only attempt of 2. All right, here's Bench. Morris to Bench. 5-1 strikeout got him. That is the 5th strikeout for Morris to go to 7 walks. And that'll bring up Geronimo. We could bring in a lefty to face Geronimo because he has some splits here where he triples and doubles against righties and doubles here. He's got 3 places where he gets extra base hits against righties versus lefties. So we could bring in well, Frank, that's all the matter of opinion. That's obviously, everybody likes different games, but in my opinion, there's no comparison. But for you Detroit guys, do you want me to bring in a lefty to face Geronimo, or do you want to bring in Berenguer, or stick with Morris? Because like I said, he's got 3 splits that have double triples versus righties where they're outs versus lefties. Not that you're going to hit those 3, but you never know. So I will default to the Detroit fans in the audience. Yeah, I clicked the mute button with my foot by accident. The cord on my headset is hitting the floor, and I stepped on it by accident, so I just hit the mute button. We're back now, I think. So the strikeout is good, and I guess we're going to stick with Morris to try to get out of the inning. Facing Concepcion. 2-1, strikeout again. He got him. So Jack Morris bows up and strikes out the side when he got in trouble. Did give up the home run, makes it a 4-3 ball game after 6. What is his rating of endurance for Willie Hernandez? He can face 7 batters according to this. Berenguer can face 14. Lopez can face 8. So you guys can let me know if you want to stick with Morris into the 7th or start, bringing in Berenguer or whoever. Like I said, I'll default to you guys. Sarmiento obviously is going to stay in there. Only faced 1 batter. He got out of a jam, so they're going to leave him in there. All right, here is Sarmiento, 2-6. We're going to the ballpark for Alan Trammell. 1-1, and that's a single plus to right field. So it's a base hit and a chance for a double. The right fielder arm, Griffey, is a +1. So Trammell becomes a 4. 1-4, he turns this into a double. And he does. So it's going to turn into a double for Alan Trammell. And now, what do you do if you're the Reds? Do you walk Gibson intentionally, set up a double play? Although Parrish is 3 for 3, so I think they're going to go after Gibby. 3-2, and that is a possible error. Go to Gibson. That's a 6. That's a possible error. 1-5 is a power result to left, so we're going to use a 6 for that first and re-roll for the error. Power result to left against a right-hander is a double. A double for Gibson, and that will bring home Trammell. And now we'll check for the error. The error on Foster is a 1, so the only way we have an error is if we roll a 1. And there is no error, but it will be back-to-back doubles. Maybe you should have walked Gibson. See, Sparky saying they don't want to walk you. They don't want to walk you. Got shades of the 84 series coming up with Gossage. They don't want to walk you. All right, so Sarmiento facing Parrish. 1, but Gibson's not going to try to steal 3rd, obviously. So here's Sarmiento. 1-2, possible error on a ground ball. Here's Lance Parrish. 4-6, that's a single to left field. Base hit, no error because he's a 1, so that's not an error. Single to left, let's see if Gibby can score. Gibby's a 4. Single to left, you gain 1, makes him a 5. Foster's a -1, brings it back to a 4. 1-4, and we got another run. And we do. And that's going to be all for Sarmiento. He can't get it done. He did well that 1 batter, but he hasn't done anything since then. 2 runs are in. It is now 6-3. And the Red Sparky Anderson is very frustrated. And they will go to the bullpen. It's going to be Evans, Garbe, and Jones coming up. And the Reds will have to go to somebody else. Sarmiento, only a 1/3 of an inning, giving up 3 hits and 2 runs. He's also responsible for Parrish. And let's see who the Reds want to bring in their bullpen. They will go to Pedro Bourbon. So they're going to see if Bourbon can get it done. Bourbon. Let's see. Our strategy rolls are now off because it's let's see. It's 4-3. Now it's 6-3. No, strategy rolls are still on. Okay, my bad. 20. That's a 1 for a balk. No balk. Ooh, came close, but no balk. Pull rating on Morris says 13, according to this. Now he's given up 7 walks. I don't know how many hits he's given up. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. He's only given up 3 hits. 2 of them have been home runs. Everything else has been walks. So he's got a total of 10 base runners allowed. So to me, that means he hasn't reached his pull rating. All right, here's Bourbon to Evans. 3-4, and that's a blank. So we go to Evans. 1-5 single to center field for Evans, and the Tigers just keep on hitting. Center field, Geronimo, 0 arm. Well, at least according to Inside Pitch, he is, which is crap because he's a -1 at the worst. Let's see here. Parrish is a 2, going from first to third on a single to center. You lose 1, makes him a 1. So a 1, he makes it to third base. And he does not, he will hold. All right, so first and second, still nobody out for Barbaro Garbe. And the Tigers having a field day here in the 7th inning. 4-4, that's the ballpark card going back to Riverfront for Barbaro Garbe. He cannot hit a home run at least. 1-1, but he can single with a possible extra base hit. It's a 2-base advancement for all base runners, so Parrish will score, Evans will go to third, and Garbe has a chance to extend this to a single. He runs at a 2 +1 from Griffey, 1-3, and he's in there with a double. So incredible. This inning, 3 doubles and 2 singles, and we can close the book now on Sarmiento. He's going to give up 3 runs in the inning. But Bourbon isn't doing any better. So some people in the Riverfront crowd are starting to leave. Infield's going to have to come in. They got no choice. No choice at all. Here's Rupert Jones. 1-1 strikeout, 19 is too high. 5-5 single past second, and that'll be another run scored. 4th run of the inning. Garbe, I don't think he has enough to score. He's only a 2. No, he can score 2 through 6 scores, so he does score. It's a 2-run single off the bat of Rupert Jones, and we got a 5-run inning, and this thing has turned into a 9-3 ball game. Instead of 9th inning magic, we got 7th inning magic. Here's Chet Lemon. Still nobody out, by the way. Strategy rolls are now definitely off. 6-1 possible, error on a ground ball. 3-1, and that's a line drive to short. And again, to double the guy off with a line drive to short and a runner on first, the only double play chance is a 1. And it's not going to double off. He's going to get back. So 1 away for Dave Bergman. 5-2 is a strikeout chance. 7 got him. 2 down. And now the 9th man to bat in the inning, Lou Whitaker, steps to the plate. 1-5, strikeout 12, too high. Go to Bourbon. Or go to Whitaker, rather. 6-3, fly to center, and that's going to end the inning. But they send 9 to the plate, and 5 of them score. And they respond to the home run from the Reds by putting up a 5 spot. And now all of a sudden, Jack Morris has a lot of room to work with should he want to stay in the ball game. So I'm going to defer to the Tiger fans in the crowd. Do you want to stick with Morris now that he's got a 9-3 lead and see how far he can go, or do you want to bring in Berenguer or somebody? Let him start. Well, Dav says start the inning. What do you guys think? You agree with that? I mean, he's got a 6-run lead to work with. Yank him if someone reaches. Does that sound reasonable to you, Tiger fans? That's what Dav is proposing. Sounds good to me. I mean, unless you guys object, it sounds good to me. All right, so Jack Morris to Rose. 5-1, strikeout 1, got him. That is strikeout number 8. That's 4 strikeouts in a row going back to last inning. So he's got 7 walks and 8 strikeouts in this game. Here's Griffey. 3-1 is a blank. We go to Griffey. 2-2, and that is a fly ball to center field. 2 down. And that brings up Joe Morgan. 3-1 is a blank. We go to Morgan. 3-5, and that's a star 3. Ground ball to third. Inning's over. A very quick 7th inning. We go to the 8th. Tigers can feel it. Maybe Sparky was right. Sparky of Detroit was right when he said that 84 Tigers were better than the Reds. But Who knows? They're both about the same. Here's Trammell, 5-2. Strikeout chance 12, too high. We go to Trammell. Make sure Bourbon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This will be batter number 7. So he's tired after this. So he's tired after Trammell's at bat. 1-2 is a fly to center, 1 away. So Bourbon is now tired, but they're going to go ahead and let him keep going for a little bit longer. 6-6 is a blank. We go to Gibby. 2-6, that's a single. And now Gibson just a triple away from the cycle. And Lance Parrish is coming up, and that's going to be all for Bourbon. They're going to go to Raleigh Eastwick. Might as well at this point. There's definitely not a save situation to leave him around for. So Eastwick will come on, and they're going to try to get him to finish the game out. Bourbon, he gave up 2 runs. He pitched 1, 2, 3, inning and a third, giving up 3 hits and 2 runs, no walks and a strikeout. So Eastwick will pitch to Parrish. Eastwick is the 5th Cincinnati pitcher to be used. Meanwhile, Jack Morris is still hanging in there. 3-1, blank to the righty. So we go to Parrish. Oh, the red die didn't fall through, so let me try that again. 5-1 is a liner to third. Out number 2. Run on first, a liner to third. You need a 1 to be a double play. And it's no double play, so Parrish will line out, but Gibson gets back, and here's Darrell Evans. 2-1, and that's a blank. We go to Evans. 3-1, liner to short. Boy, a couple of line drives right there to end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Score still 9-3. Detroit will be making a defensive change. Tom Brookins will come in and play third base in place of Evans, since Evans just hit. So he's a 5-7 versus the 2-7. So Brookins much better defensively, much better range. Running out of 3. So Brookins will take over as the new third baseman, and Darrell Evans will get the rest of the night off. So let's see. Morris has faced 30 batters. So he is actually tired. So I'm going to go ahead and remove Morris. He's tired because you can face 29. He has faced 30. So I'm going to go ahead and pull him. And we're going to bring in Senor Smoke. Aurelio Lopez. Morris is going to go 7 innings. Lopez coming in. And let's see, in the 7 innings for Morris, he gave up 3 runs. Just the 3 hits, 2 home runs and a single. That was it. The 3 runs. He did walk 7, and he struck out 8. It's a very interesting line for Morris. And now due up for the Reds, it'll be Perez, Dreesen, and Foster against Senor Smoke. Hello, Ernest. Good to see you. 1-2 is a blank on that single check for Lopez. Perez, 6-5, grounder to second. Whitaker handles it. And now there's very few people left in Riverfront as they don't want to stick around and see Detroit celebrate. 6-4, and that is a strikeout chance. 14 too high. Reds fans are envisioning 72 all over again when the A's came to town and celebrated on their home field in front of them. They don't want to witness it again. Liner to second. Whitaker is there, 2 down. But it's inevitable. It's going to happen. There's no not enough ninth inning magic in the world to change it. 2-3 is a possible error on a throw. 6-1 is a power result to center. That's a 5. It'll be a single. No throw to worry about, so there's no error because nobody's on base. 2-out single brings up Johnny Bench. 4-1, a possible error. for 3. That's a ground ball to third. I tell you what, you bring in a new defender and the ball finds you. He's a 7. That's a 16. He makes the play and the inning's over. But I tell you, bring a new fielder in, the ball will find you immediately. So we go to the 9th, still 9-3. And they will bring in Willie Hernandez to close it out in the 9th. So Lopez goes 1 inning, gives up a hit, and gives up nothing. And Willie Hernandez, they want him on the mound when they celebrate, so he will be coming in to pitch the 9th inning. Right now, Eastwick will be facing Garbe, Jones, and Lemon. Let's check the Tiger bench real quick. Actually, going to pull Garbe and Hojo. Not Howard Johnson. What am I doing? Find somebody. We're going to bring in, I'll tell you how confident they are. They're going to bring in Rusty Kuntz to pinch hit. He hadn't played all series. We give him an at bat. So Rusty Kuntz is going to come in and pinch hit and stay in the game as a DH against Raleigh Eastwick here in the 9th. Rusty Kuntz. 3-1 is a blank. We go to Kuntz's card. 3-3, fly to center. 1 away. If you wonder about Garbe, a 3-3 would have been a ground ball to short, so it didn't matter anyway. Rupert Jones. 5-5, strikeout 2, got him. Lemon. 5-3, strikeout plus, he got him. So that's going to do it for the Tigers in the 9th. That was kind of premature. They didn't really care. They just want to get it over with and get to the bottom of the 9th so they can celebrate. Eastwick goes an inning and 2/3, gives up nothing, strikes out 2. So if I look at the hit total for the Tigers, 5, 6, 9, 12. I got them for 15 hits. 9 runs and 15 hits for the Tigers in this ball game. And of course, no errors for either team. I don't see either team with an error. So we know the Reds didn't have an error. All right. So Willie Hernandez will come in and pitch the last of the 9th. He'll be facing Geronimo Concepcion and Rose, but the Reds will pinch hit for Geronimo with right-hander Bob Bailey. So Bob Bailey will pinch hit for Geronimo. Right-hander. He will pinch hit for Geronimo. Hernandez, 6'5", and that is a potential walk. 4, he does walk him. Hernandez can face 7 batters, so he's not sweating anything just yet. Here's Concepcion. 2-3, and that is a blank. He's not tired. Go to Concepcion. 6-2. It's a ground ball to. I'm sorry, he's against the lefty, so it's a single pass short. And Bailey, who runs at a 1, will hold up at second base. And actually, the Reds now will bring in Ed Armbrister to pinch run for Bailey. So Armbrister will pinch run. He is a 4 rated outfielder, and plus he can go in the outfield if needed. If the Reds magically score 6 runs, that is. So Concepcion with the single. Here's Pete Rose. 1-2, and that's a wild pitch chance. 9, too high. It's a blank. We go to Rose. 6-4, and that's a double to center field. Look at this. The Reds are not going down quietly. Coming in to score is Armbrister. Concepcion is a 3. Double to center. You gain 1, makes him a 4. Lemon's arm is a 0. 1-4, and he comes around to score. And he does. It's a 2-run double off the bat of Pete Rose, and it's now a Dolly Parton 9-5 game. And what is going on with Willie Hernandez? Now all of a sudden Juan Berenguer is like tossing in the Tiger bullpen. What is going on with Willie Hernandez? Here's Griffey. 1-1 strikeout, 18 too much. 4-5. That is a single to center field for Griffey. Rose runs at a 3, single to center. You gain 2, makes him a 5. 1-5, he will score, and he does. That's a base hit. It's now a 9-6 game. What the hell is going on? Yes, both of those, all these guys are available. You got Rozema, you got Scherer, you got Berenguer, and you got Doug Bear. Those 4 guys are available. Any of these 4. So right now, Berenguer, to me, is the best they have. So he's warming up in the bullpen because Willie Hernandez hasn't gotten anybody out yet. All right. Griffey was aboard, so let's see. It's 9-6, but strategy rolls still aren't on yet, so won't worry about that. Here's Morgan. 4-1, that's a possible error on a throw. 3-1, that's a single to right field from Morgan. That's an 18, so there won't be an error on Gibson. But let's see if Griffey can make it to third. Probably a good chance. He runs at a 4. Single to third, he gain 2, makes him a 6. Gibson's a 0, so he makes third without a throw. So actually, even if an error check had come up, it wouldn't have mattered because there was no throw. So runners at the corners now. And what do you think? Do you guys need time to pull him? Time to pull him for Berenguer because Willie Hernandez just couldn't get anybody out. I don't know what the deal was with that. Got a great card, but he just got the bad rolls, I guess. So he didn't get anybody out. He gave up 4 hits. So far, 3 runs, still responsible for these 2 guys. No walks, no strikeouts. So Juan Berenguer will have to try to close the deal. And this is now a save situation. So Berenguer is in a save situation. Tony Perez, the batter, runners at the corners. 9-6. 4-5, and that's a walk chance. 19 is too high. We go to Perez. 5-6, star 6 is a fly to center. Is it a sacrifice fly? His sacrifice fly rating is a 1. It is not a sacrifice fly there. Griffey's a 4. Lemon's a 0. 1-4, it's still a sacrifice fly. And it is. So it's a sacrifice fly to center field. That will score Griffey. 4th run of the inning. It is now 9-7. Tying run is at the plate in Dan Dreesen with 1 out. Five is a blank. We go to Dreesen. 5-2. That's a power result to left field. 17, though, is out of range. Unfortunately, it's a cookie cutter card, but a 17 is going to put him out of range. So it's just a deep fly to left for out number 2. And down to the final out, it is George Foster, but he has the power to tie this game with 1 swing of the bat. He's got 20s on both sides, so a ballpark check or a home run check, home run question mark check. If we roll a 5-5, he's in trouble. If you roll the ballpark, he's in trouble. Berenguer, 4-4, range play. Go to Foster for a range play. 3-3, ground ball to second, but it ain't over yet. Whitaker's a 3. He's got to make the play. And he does, and that's the ball game. They finally get it over with. Berenguer has to come in and bail out Hernandez, but a 4-score inning in the 9th for the Reds makes it 9-7, and that's the ball game. The Tigers hang on and win it. For Berenguer, he gets the save. Morris gets the win. The loss to Gary Nolan. Let's see here. Hernandez is going to give up all 4 runs. They were earned. And a full inning pitched for Berenguer with nothing else. So for the Reds, 7 runs. They do it on 8 hits I've got them for. So final score, Tigers win it by the score of 9-7. And the Tigers will hit the field in celebration And they're calling Willie Hernandez on and said, come on, you can do it too. You got us here. You just had a bad game. We're not going to leave you out. So there it is. So I almost ate my words about ninth inning magic not being enough to get this ball game close, but there it was, 4 runs in the ninth inning. And I don't know what happened to poor Willie Hernandez. I mean, 1.92 ERA and 32 saves, but he couldn't get an out. Go figure. So a very exciting game, as it turns out. I don't want to give the impression to anybody that I don't like this game, because this is still my second favorite game to strat. All right, so I want to set that record straight. It's just that I like strat. I'm in a strat mood right now, so I'm in a strat mode right now. So I may come back and do some more 1977 with that season, because I did the first month in the National League. I might come back and do some more. I never know. Never say never. Right now, those on a main strat kick. And the 2 main things I'm going to be kicking on is the 1987 season and the Demolition League. So that's primarily what I'm going to be doing. Also doing the NBC Game of the Week on season ticket. Might sprinkle in an inside pitch game here and there. You never know. But of course, you've got RJL to take care of your inside pitch needs, as he's out there every night pumping out videos on this. So, you got that going for you. You never know. I might pop in a game of something I don't usually play. You can see a payoff pitch or a replay game out of the blue somewhere, or Fall Classic or something like that. You never know. Not APA, though. You can go to bank on that one. Well, Brian B. wasn't here. I'll have to catch the replay, I guess. I don't know, but don't know what to tell you. I told him it was going to be tonight because RGL wasn't streaming, and he acknowledged, at least I think he acknowledged it this afternoon, that he saw when I made that comment. So, and he should have got the notification, you would think. So, I don't know. Don't know what else to tell you. Tigers, the Sparky Tigers win it by the score of 9-7, coming back from a 3-1 deficit. No, it wasn't bad, but I just don't. I just got tired of rolling 66s and doubles, and the pitcher not having any impact. The pitcher's sitting there watching these doubles go by, and it's like, okay. So anyway, there you have it. Inside pitch Sparky Bowl is complete. Tigers come back and shock the Reds after being down 3-1. Boy, who do we give a player of the game to is the question for the Tigers. I mean, Morris pitched okay, didn't pitch all that great. I'm saying Gibson, he had a home run, a double, and a single. So to me, but then Parrish was 4 for 5 as well. So a lot of guys with the 15 hits, it could be either one of those. Gibson gave them the lead to start the game, and they never relinquished it. And then in the big 7th inning, he was definitely a part of that. So where his double scored the run here and put him up at the time 5-3. They only had a 1-run lead until his double gave him a 2-run lead. So to me, Kirk Gibson is the player of the game. I don't know about the whole series, but to me, Kirk Gibson is the player of the game, going 3 for 4, and 2 of those hits being key, driving in runs. So to me, I'm giving him the player of the game. And certainly Parrish did well too. You can make a case for both. But that's going to do it from here. I'm glad Chuck and other Tiger fans are happy. Sorry for Brian B. He missed it. Hopefully people that watch this later won't turn it off before the 8th inning or 9th inning and then think it's a blowout and not realize that the Reds had the tying run at the plate and just almost came back to win it. So, yeah, Tabby's sleeping right now. She would be celebrating, but she's sleeping. When I tell her what happened, she'll celebrate later, I assume. But she's sleeping right now. So, all right. So, again, appreciate all you guys' enthusiasm and following, and especially for RJL and for Ben for keeping me straight on when I misread something or not look at a rule correctly or whatever. Keep me on my toes. Always appreciative, so that I can stay accurate as best I can. And now we set inside pitch aside for a while. and move on to full-time strat, 1987 and the Demolition League both. The Demolition League this year for the 24 season is really just a warm-up for next year because I'm starting so late that I don't have time to play a full Demolition League, but I have enough time to play a partial Demolition League and at least get used to these new players and the new rules and so forth. Of course, the first two games have been strikeout cities with a couple of home runs thrown in there. So I'm hoping the other games, as I play it more, will be better. I don't know. Um, but anyway, she doesn't always do the best with catnip, so I don't know. Might want to keep her away from the catnip. But anyway, I appreciate all you guys' support. And RJL, I don't mean to poo-poo the advanced inside pitch. Apologize if it came through that way. It's just that I've got so much stuff going on right now. I can't really concentrate on it, but I will definitely give it a hard look as you play it more and show it off more. I will give it a hard look and take a look at it and find the merits in it, if there are merits in it, versus version 3. One thing for sure, all these seasons I've already purchased in version 3. I'm not purchasing them again in version 4 or advanced. I'm just going to play what I have. If I like the advanced, I may buy an advanced version when it's released. Maybe that's the time to get the Moneyball season and try it that way. Possibly. I don't know. But we'll see. That's way down the road. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. Right now, I want to cut it. I don't really consider the season ticket NBC Game of the Week as a project because it's just a 1 day a week. So it really doesn't take up a whole lot of my time. But the other two are going to take up a lot of my time, gaming time. So that's why I'm playing most of those offline, and I will sprinkle in the online games so I can try to get through these projects and move them along so that by the time next February, March comes around, I'll be ready to hit the road running with the 2025 sets when they come out. So I'll be definitely stratting like crazy. And of course, a shout out to Tenacious Earl. He's the one that came up with that idea of the 10 teams. So kudos to him. That's how I learned about it, and I certainly enjoyed it the first time I did it. And it's a long project, no doubt. 270 games. Not going to lie. That's why I'm truncating this one down to, I believe it's 36 times 5. It's like 100 and something other games. Like 180 or something like that, where I'm playing each team 4 times instead of 6 times against each other. So 36 games per team for 10 teams. That's 360 games divided by 200. So it's 180 games instead of 270. So I'm cutting it down by quite a bit. And so hopefully I can get through those 180 games before February gets here, or before March gets here, I guess, because the cards next year in Strat come out mid-February. By the time they get shipped here and I get everything organized, I wouldn't be ready to play probably until March. So, because that kind of league, it takes me a while to set things up. I will go ahead and buy the new Strat computer that season so I can have the cards and the Strat computer on the same season, and that way I can have all the extra players I need. If I need to print anybody off, it's just much better to do it that way. And that way, all the players are already on there. I know where they are, what teams they're on, and it's just a whole lot easier to have the computer to assist me on that. But that's going to do it from here. Hope you all have a great Saturday night. Don't forget to check out RJL tomorrow. Tomorrow he'll be back with regularly scheduled program and then start to a new month in the 1999 Inside Pitch replay, along with the 10-minute ticker, which has now become almost infamous, if not famous. So have a good weekend, everybody, or good evening at least, and stay safe out there. Enjoy the weather. If it's nice in your area, it's nice here for sure. And until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road. And before I sign off, this one does not belong to the Reds.